gray area with people when it comes to their opinion of the Bush family. The last name evokes strong emotions and opinions from all sides. Jim, what's your take on the possibility of another Bush in the Oval Office?
So I have a couple of issues with that. First of all, being that registered Republican that I talked about earlier, I don't know that I think that George W. did the greatest job in the world. There were plenty of things that he did that I was not pleased with. Secondly, frankly, I take issue with just the thought process that this should be passed down from family member to family member, and this would be number 3. And even in the best of circumstances, I don't think that's the way the founders envisioned what our country would be like.
So two's okay? Two's okay?
You know, I don't know. I had the same problem with Hillary. No, I don't. I had a problem with W when he was running.
Well, Jim, maybe we could have Dynasty, the reality show.
Yeah.
Run for president.
That would be a great sell. We'll bring back
We have
Dynasty.
Duck Dynasty, now we have Bush Dynasty.
Bush Dynasty.
I'm surprised that I agree with you on that. I mean, I wasn't sure where you were going to go with that, but I'm absolutely opposed to him running.
Honestly, I like the guy. I like the guy, frankly, better than the other two that we had.
Well, that is true. We lived in Florida while he was governor there. He did an excellent job as the governor of Florida.
He seems articulate. He seems sensible. He seems reasonable in his opinions.
So if
he's not a far right, he's not a far right wacko.
Yeah.
If he changes his last name, he's okay, right?
He would have to disavow the entire thing. I don't like the idea of a whole.
That's interesting.
I don't like the idea of a dynasty either.
Well, you know, most people I talk to on both sides of the aisle don't like the idea on both sides of the aisle of having reruns. They really don't. And I find there's a real heavy weariness out there about, can't we move to something new here? You know, I've got 2 young nieces. The oldest is 30, the other one's 26. They're just turned off by the whole thing.
But something more scary than that is it was reported on CNN or MSNBC, I can't remember which network the other night, that Barack Obama said in a conversation that he is convinced that were the Constitution not in the way, he could win a 3rd term easily.
He probably could, but that's not that he would do.
No, I don't think
let's
he could.
let's say it correctly. There's nothing in the Constitution about term limits.
No, that's true. The
If
amendment.
it wasn't for the precedence that was set, and it was set by essentially George Washington, although negated to some degree by Franklin Roosevelt, you know. So as far as I can tell you, based on the Constitution and law, if Barack Obama wants to run again, he can.
He can.
And I'd love to see him do that.
Yeah, I thought
There
there
was
was
an
that.
amendment to the Constitution that says that he can't. There is. It's part of the Constitution.
There's a 2-term limit in
For the
Roosevelt, they
presidency
put
of
that
the
in
United
place,
States.
yeah.
Read your Constitution.
Yeah, I'll buy that. I'll buy that.
But that's
If
he
that's what
cannot
it say.
do it. He cannot do it.
But
Thankfully.
see, with Bush, going back
Whatever.
to that, I thought that the son, first of all, I think he's not intelligent, you know.
W or the other one?
The second one, the son, the bad one. The one
W.
that second.
George W.
Yes.
53.
The one that was governor of Texas before he became
Let me tell you
president.
that
He was a horrible governor of Texas. We lived there. I can attest to that. He put in place things that then went to the nation, like this stupid No Child Left Behind crap that we've been dealing with for the last couple of decades, or 15 years, or however long it's been now. And just the very thought that another family member, no matter how nice the guy is, how well he did in Florida, I just can't stand it because
20
his
years from
brother
now-
said such a bad example.
20 years from now, you heard it here
Presidents.
first, and you guys just remember, though, I'll probably be pushing up daisies, but history will vindicate George W. Bush.
No.
And
He'll be known for starting the war.
Yeah, he will be vindicated, and he
He'll be
won't
known
be
as the
the
idiot
top
president.
5, but he'll be certainly in the top half.
And that's actually already started.
Sure it has. Sure it has.
Well,
sure it
revision.
has.
There's no way
History
he can be in
starts
the
early, but
No, I don't
there
think he'll
are
be in the
some
top 5.
pictures is
But I
Jeb
think
Bush,
that
though.
he's
That's
not
what
going to
we
be
wanna
viewed.
talk about.
I mean, his popularity at this point is far above what our current
Oh
president
my
is.
gosh. Yeah.
But he's an idiot.
No, he's
People
not.
are just, people are always, they forget what the bad stuff was and they just look to the other side hoping the grass is green over there. That's all it is.
There's
with him.
plenty of good stuff in
We should talk about Jeb Bush. He's the one running.
Yes.
So-
But, you know, it's
And
the
he's
president,
the
so you have a
darling
bad
of the money
feeling.
class now. He has raised, by far, more than any candidate on any side of the aisle.
Well, and, you know-
$114 million as of July 15th.
And you know, the smart thing that
You
he's
know who's
doing,
behind that?
the smart thing that he's doing, in my opinion, is he's not getting involved with this bash Donald Trump thing or bash any of the others, because they're all, you know, I think some of them are trying to emulate Trump in his
Yeah.
frankness,
They are.
if you will, and they're doing a pretty poor job of it, because they're doing and then they're apologizing.
Yes.
Other than Huckabee, who I don't know why he said the whole leading to the oven thing. That's
Oh, well,
just
that's
not
ridiculous.
that's
That
just
was-
not the right way to
It's
express
don't
that.
even
it's
know.
not good PR.
Where did
let's
I
put it
even
Man, I
come
tell you, I
from?
feel like
I don't even know
I've
where
been
that fits
ostracized
anywhere.
and been cut out of the group here. I mean, I thought what Mike Huckabee said was probably one of the best comments that's been made.
Oh, I
mean,
don't
let me
think
tell
so.
you
How does
something.
that even, how does that
Let me
even
tell you
fit? That
something.
doesn't even fit in any shape,
Oh, it
form.
fits in absolutely
No.
perfectly
No.
with what's going on in
think
the
we're getting
Middle
off the
East. I
topic
mean,
here.
have we done
There is
in
no
our
parallel.
relationships with Israel? I'll guarantee you, if we haven't, we're getting close to it.
Yeah, too.
And
We
so
cannot
yeah,
compare that
but
to-
I'm
Hitler and
with
the Third
I'm
Reich.
with Monica. Let's get back to Jeb Bush. That's
Yes,
a
we should
good
be
thing.
into Bush.
So if
Let's not
Jeb
beat
Bush
around the
changed
bush.
his name, we're all for him, right?
No.
No.
I didn't say that.
Well,
Yes,
I
the
think
governor
nobody
of
has sat
Florida.
here and told me.
And I'm not
nobody has
saying I'm
said-
against him at this
Yeah.
point.
Nobody has
Yeah.
sat here and told me why he'd make a bad president for any other reason than he's a Bush.
You know, and that's a sad state of affairs.
Sure it
But
is.
there is a percentage of the population, I believe, that are going to be like me that says this is not about a dynasty. And I'm sorry, guess what? If your dad was president, maybe you shouldn't be.
Jeb
Sorry
may
about
very
your
well
luck.
be the nominee, but he'll be the next Mitt Romney, I will guarantee
will
you,
not win.
of the Republican
Well, that
Party.
depends on who's running against him.
Maybe 3 or 4
So
generations.
you think
down.
Bernie
He'll be the
can
next
beat him?
You know, the-
Well, that's another subject right there. But I mean, George Bush is the perfect candidate as a cipher.
Jeb?
You know, for Jeb, Jeb Bush, you know, because he's kind of bland. They can, he can fit anything into the model that his corporate people
See,
want him to do.
I'm not sure we've seen what he is at this point. Because
That's what
again,
I'm saying.
he's
That's
too
precisely
vanilla.
my point.
So I'll remind you next week, then I will want to hear all of you when we do Hillary, that the reason we're
we're
not
doing
going to vote
Hillary
for
next
Hillary is because she's a Clinton. And
Well,
if you
they're
guys
all-
are willing to go that
and-
far,
and-
that's fine.
Well, I'm
And she's
inclined
got-
to agree with you on that, but that's part of I think, the political climate. That's my point.
she's Clinton and she's got girl parts.
No,
Oh,
it doesn't have anything to
okay.
do with girl parts, but Clinton and other things. Well,
Okay.
we have to actually wrap this one up.
Very fine.
So we beat around the bush long enough. So let's go back to our next
Too
segment
good.
is Terry in Chattanooga. Stay with us and find out what this is all about.